Good afternoon, everybody. Hope you're having an amazing day. Let's go ahead and make sure you all can hear me. If you would please type the number 1 in the chat box, let me know that you can. I would greatly appreciate it. Hey, Thomas, thank you. Brenda, Roby, afternoon. There you go. I love it. I love it. I love it. Loud and clear. Sorry, guys. I was just stepping back to read one of the messages. It's a little bit longer. John typed in, it's been a pleasure having you instruct me in Covered Call Explorer. Around 7 years. Wow. You provide super candidates. Looking forward to working with Trip. But he does have some big shoes to fill. Yes, and he knows that. You know, Trip and I have been working together for a while now, John, making sure that he's up to the task and what's doing and so forth. And for those of you that are like, what are you talking about, Rob? Last Thursday was the last Covered Call Explorer that I will be teaching. I've been working with Trip now for a couple of months to transition him over. He's done an amazing job proving to me what he's capable of doing with that program. We're actually taking it to the next level now, where we're going to make it more of an actual alert service, where there's going to be some emails popping up throughout the course of the week of these are setting up today, or maybe it's time to wind out of this one, and things like that. So there's a Q&A that's going to be coming up every quarter, which I don't do at this point. So there's a lot of great features being added to it, on top of the fact that Trip's got a better schedule that allows him to get it done every Thursday, where it's not always that way for me. Yeah, Kevin. Afternoon, Rob. Trader Super Summit was awesome. We had an absolutely phenomenal day in New York on Friday, which was the 22nd, right? Yep, the 22nd. This was last Friday. We had more people online than we did on location. It was an amazing event. You know, on Friday was our Trader Super Summit, which our mastermind inner circle get to come together collaboratively, talk together, work together, hang out together. And then on Saturday is just inner circle. And I bring them back to my office in Rockville Center. And we just sit down and go through some stuff there. And I asked the members there, you know, that came to both, of course, that came to the live, you know, what they thought. So you take some of our students that are in there, like Roman, who's a very good trader. He's been trading now with me for a couple of years. I think 2016 or 17 is when he started with me. He wasn't doing anything at all, meaning he wasn't having any success with the companies that he'd been with in the past. And he just completely flipped the switch. He picks it up. You tell him to do something different, add, change, adjust. He does it immediately. And there's a struggle, right? You have students that are in there that are brand spanking new, who don't know much about the market, or as much, maybe I should say, about the market. And there are others that are very experienced. And the goal for me, for them, and there's the struggle, right, is how do you take care of those that are experienced and yet make sure the ones that are newer get covered along the way as well. And when we were talking, Roman, Daniel, Tripp, myself, we're talking on Saturday, I said, it's always that, again, struggle to make sure that I find something that fits you guys as well. And it's not just me catering to someone that is newer, where the students that have been there and have the biggest experience don't, you know, pick things up as well. And Roman said, yeah, I picked up 5 or 6 things, you know, bullet points that were just amazing that I wasn't doing. I've got to rework this. I've got to redo that. I got to look into this, look into that. On Saturday, we went through a wealth plan, on a cash flow wealth plan, which I'm teaching a component of that next month for the full day inner circle training that we do. Really, just to say I'm stoked about the results of what came out of that event is an understatement. I am very excited with how it turned out. Sean was in our event with us as well. Sean, not Reed, Sean from our office. He was with me the entire week this week, having him back in New York. And he came in on Saturday, stayed as long as he could until he met his fiance. They were headed out for an event, a family party. And I spoke with him this morning as he's getting on an airplane to Florida for an event that we're doing down there, or going to down there for a week, a marketing event. And I said, so did you, what did you figure out over the Saturday's event? He goes, my God, one of my strategies, one system he has, he goes, what you taught us on Friday. He said, one of the things you taught us about what I call micro day trading. He said, that one component explains to me why my strategy stopped working. He said, I never looked at it that way before. So a lot of great pieces came out of that. Those that could not be there with us this year, we do it every year. So you're going to want to make sure that you're coming and hanging out with us next year. Again, Inner Circle Mastermind, that's where it's at. But the camaraderie and such that comes from it is second to none, right? So I'm excited. I'm glad it was good for you, Kevin. I loved it. So that was great. Let's see, Paula, Super Summit was great. Yeah, so we did, if you weren't able to watch it or you didn't have a problem with the internet, the streaming on it, which I say that right up front, it's always a struggle, hotel internet, just, how strong or how good or bad it is. Last year we did the same hotel. It was awesome. This year, not as good, right? It was recorded. So 2-camera record. So Sean will get that up. He's again in Florida right now. So he's going to work on that while he's gone, but it's a big job to get a full day's training fixed up, edited and such, and get it published. So I'm looking forward to that getting up there, but I'm glad what you saw was good. Yeah, so PK said, will Trip be doing any online, the promo type classes? He will. Not yet. Right now, PK, we want Trip to get very acclimated in what he does or is doing inside of that. I'll probably bring him 1 or 2 times here in the Power Hour to talk with us a little bit about cash flow. Right. Just as when it came to Tony Benson, right? I look at an individual's skills, right? And if I have something that I can apply to that, I do. So Tony, I named the Pattern Whisperer, right? That was my name for Tony. We own the website, the Pattern Whisperer, all of it, right? It's just, and he is. Tony can look at a pattern and just, he sees, how do we trade it? What do we do? How do we avoid this? What if it goes up? What if it goes down? He knows everything there is about that pattern, okay? When it comes to Trip, I'm calling him the cash flow king, all right? He didn't know it yet. He just jumped in here. The cash flow king. Why? Because he crushes it with this stuff, guys. He's amazing. So we will do some free trainings on it, PK, coming up, probably into the end of this year, beginning of next year. I don't have an exact date. My marketing team is working on that now as far as the whens. Yeah, no pressure. I hear you. Yeah, no pressure. That was Trip. I thought that was PK putting it in. Sorry, Trip. No pressure, Trip says. But yeah, I'm excited for it. So for guys, a lot of things like that happening and adjusting and changing and so forth. So there's a brand new feature that I just finalized this week. Finally, I've been working on it now for 2 months. For Mastermind and Inner Circle. I'll kind of let it out of the bag here a little bit. I'll talk more about it next time I'm in both of those trainings. But we are going to be offering for anybody that's in Mastermind and or Inner Circle one-on-one strategy session with Dale Zamzo to lay your portfolio out for you, looking at what you have, giving you some thoughts on it, how cash generation goes forward and so forth, right? Protection and insurance and all that type of stuff. Dale's going to be able to cover all of those things for you in a one-on-one session, not in a group setting, but in a one-on-one. So anybody that's in Inner Circle and or Mastermind, you have the option to take advantage of that for free. You'll see over the next couple of weeks, we'll get some emails put together for it. We just literally finalized this on Thursday, right? So it's brand spanking new, right? For those that are in there. Always trying to up the game of what you guys are eligible and able to get, right? So, all right. Excuse me. As we get started, keep in mind that everything we look at is for educational purposes. Nothing's meant to be advice or recommendations. If you like what you see, anything, make sure it fits your own personal risk profile and risk tolerance before ever taking on that trade, that setup, that indicator, whatever it is. Don't ever jump into that based on what somebody else says. It has to fit you, your personal risk profile. All right. So we have a lot happening. Inner Circle coming up on the 25th. That would be today. 26th, mañana is Mastermind Group. 27th is SPX Cash Flow Q&A. That's with Brandon. Trading News on the 28th. I mean, we are just rocking, right? What we don't have on here, Lee, we've got to make sure to get on going forward is the schedule for the Trading You 2.0 lives, right? Those of you that came to the Stop the BS trainings that I did, we had a problem with the last one we did on Friday. We lost power. I found out we lost, the house has 220 in it, right? 220 volts, which means they bring 2 110 volt legs in to your house, right? One of our 210 legs went out. So an outlet in my office stopped working, but the outlet next to it was working. A light in one room was out, a light in another room was out. The refrigerator was on, but the microwave was off, right? So we lost half our legs in the house. One side of the power went out. Took them a couple of hours before they finally got it back and got everything running and rocking there. I thought it was a power strip because that power strip stopped working. And when I pulled everything out of it and plugged it into a new power strip, it worked, but that's because it was plugged in a different outlet, not because the power strip was bad. So, but Trading You 2.0, folks, we are revamping, redoing everything inside of Trading You 2.0, inside of Trading You. There are brand new trainings, brand new topics in there. We've added a few bonus sessions in there that were not there before. On top of that, we have a full day, one full day with our experienced coaches, with Ryan, Brandon, Sean, Tony, Amelia, and yes, Trip will be teaching on that day. It's on a Saturday. Got a full day lined up for you. That's already locked in. The Trading You 2.0 is basically it's about 4 days. It's over 30 live sessions that we will be doing, and everyone will be recorded live. Okay, so we've got most of them are going to be done at night. Some will be done on the weekends, like the one for the coaches. We're doing that whole thing as one day. That's, all the coaches are there. And then, of course, on top of that, there's going to be, not of course, but on top of that, there's going to be one live session that will be done at probably 9 a.m. is when we'll start that. And that'll be while the market is opening up. We're going to look at some pre-market stuff, kind of prep you, set you up, things to be looking for, and so forth. I see Lee dropped the link in there, guys. All of this, about 4 days of live training is what it's going to be. Ish. I don't have exact numbers because we haven't taught all of it yet, but it's about 4 full days of training. $358 to take all of that live, right? Ask the questions, get the recordings. They're recorded for 60 days for you after the last session is done. The last one will be a wrap up, which will be a little bit of a get in your face. What do you need to do to be successful in the market? Kind of pointing you in the right direction. We'll be doing that there. So Lee, we need to get some of those dates on there. The next couple. I know October 2nd, 8 p.m. Eastern is our very first one. That's our kickoff. Okay. Power option plays, E-mini, covered call, Vegas spread, all on the regular schedule. Power Hour Trading Coaches Playbook as well on their regular schedule. We got a lot happening all over the place. Make sure you're following along the various social platforms. There will be no Trade with Rob this week as Sean is away. This week, he's the one that gets everything uploaded. We are working on a process to get someone else in our company to be able to upload those videos for us, but we can't do it this week. Sean is in a training that starts at between 8 and 9 a.m. in the morning. It'll end about 6 o'clock at night. He'll get to go eat some dinner, and he'll be back right after that, and go until 7, 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night some nights. So it's a long week for him there. All right. Here's our Trading Boss Manifesto. This is what it is to be a trading boss. You can download this right off of our website. You should read it every single day to help remind you of exactly what it is you're fighting for. Right. And then here we go. The new host, Trading of Cover Call Explorer, is Trip. Right. Trip Sawyer is full name. You guys just hear me say Trip all the time. Cleans up nicely. We got a whole bunch of photos for Trip over the weekend too, which was exciting. Trip was like the Grammys. He had all kinds of wardrobe changes going on there, right? But my photographer Anthony got a ton of great shots of him, so I'm really looking forward to that. You'll see some pretty cool stuff coming out. All right, I don't want to put that in just yet. So, what trades did you all do today? Drop those trades in. What did you do? And if it wasn't today, if you didn't get anything done today, is there something you did on Friday? Right? If so, awesome. Right? Then go ahead and drop that in. Right? But what trades did you guys and gals do? Yeah, so this is the wrong link. So I got to get this. Haley, this Trading You Live is the wrong link that we've got set up on there. So we need to get that taken care of. That's going right back to Trading You. Trading You, okay. Trading You Live, two totally different things. If you're in Trading You, you're in Trading You. If you're in Live, you're in Live. They're not the same thing, right? Trading You Live is where I'm teaching everything brand new with today's rules. Everything about it is today's rules. What has changed from then till now? What's changed with the way I draw fibs? All of that is going to be built inside of this new program. I have spent the last almost year putting this all together to get it complete. So two different things there. All right. So Paula said small 3% profit on SPY. I love it. Great. Kevin said open the short on VLO. Nice. Johnson, no trades, getting back from vacay. All right, there you go. 13% on Qs. Trip said with the Hakanashi scalp. Brenda, $130 on the Qs on Friday. Very good. 3 SPY trades off. There's PK. 3 SPY trades off the 430.90 fib for $510. PK, I'm loving it. That is awesome. Congrats. Congrats to all of you. Right? That is phenomenal. Keep dropping them in, folks. Keep feeding them there. SPY, here we go. Erica, SPY, $300 profit. Right? PK, great job to all. So one of the things, is he in here right now? Let's see. Some of you know the name Roman. You've heard it before. Let's see if he's in here right now. He is not. He's not here with us yet right now. So Roman is, as I said, he was in our very first inner circle, which we called Mastermind at that time. Then we accelerated to a higher level, that inner circle. When we added the Mastermind online, we called it, right? That's right, Trip. He's still in New York. That's why. He's here until today. I think he's headed back today or tomorrow back to Washington State. So, but we were together on at the event on Friday. He was making a comment that, you know, to the group, and I repeated it so anybody that was home could hear it. Every one of you should be looking at the SPY every day. And in Roman's words, it's an easy $300 or $400 on a daily basis. Now, I'm not saying that it's easy to make the money, but it is a setup that happens, or setups that happen over and over and over again, right? Whether you're trading off a pivot, you're trading off fib lines, support and resistance. It is the most consistent moving position you will ever find between the SPY and the Qs. I don't do much with them on diamonds, and I don't do much with Russell, the IWM or N. I don't really do much there with those. But when it comes to Qs and SPYs, there was 2 of them. The trades that I did today were Qs and SPYs, right? And all off pivot points. I love the setup. I love the structure. You know, I'm a simple guy, right? I look for repeatability, right? I want high reliability, high repeatability, and high predictability. If I can get that, then I'm interested. So let me ask you it this way. If I told you there was a candlestick pattern that 100% of the time that pattern presents itself, how many of you would look for that trade on a regular basis? If you knew 100% when it happened, when it goes, ta-da, give me a 1 for yes, a 2 for no. Would you do it? Okay, just lots of 1. Brenda's just, her finger got stuck. Holy mackerel. 1. Right? Here's the caveat to it. It only shows itself 1 time every 2 years. Man, I know, right? And there is a pattern like that, but that's just it. It happens 1 time every 2 years. So it's highly reliable, but it's not highly repeatable. It doesn't happen enough for me to make it worth my time to be looking for that pattern, that setup, right? For the 1 time a year. So we certainly have to pepper that with, is it the best use of my time, right? It's all 3 highs: highly reliable, highly repeatable, highly predictable. You need all 3. You need all 3. It has to be all 3 for me, or I'm not interested. And that's what I love about SPY and Qs, trading off pivots. They're predictable, they're repeatable, they're reliable, right? So yeah, how often? 1 time every 2 years, right? Is what it is. 1 time every 2 years, so not a whole lot of oftenness. So here's a trade today. Trip, was this Hakanashi you guys did today on IWM? Was that a Hak trade? So this is Amelia at 9, on 9:25 today, 9:50, almost 51. She bought to open 5 IWMs. Okay, so Trip's saying he believes this was a pivot trade, right? The 176 call, she bought at 105. She put an order in to sell 3 of them and sold them 2 minutes later, right? 7 minutes, 7 minutes later, whatever it was, okay? At $1.38, so that's 33 cents on the first third of the trade, so about 60% of the trade she's out of. And the last 2 contracts, she sold about a minute later, a minute and a quarter later. She sold the last 2 at $1.34. So getting in at the 176 call at 105 and sold the 176 call at $1.34. And overall, 27% rate of return in 8 minutes. Now, I don't know about you, but 27% in 8 minutes to me is absolutely awesome, right? You can see we had some great look, candles. She's got 2-minute candles here that she focuses on. Just absolutely stoked on the patterns that they're trading, that Amelia trades, that we do inside of the trading room for Inner Circle. Really excited for it. So good trade for Amelia, good trade for all of you. For me, the biggest ones today, the only ones today, were let's see. Come on, hitting the wrong buttons there. Okay. So SPY. Where is my drawing tool now? Okay. So we gap down. Boom. Well, we gap right to the S2 line. S2, S1 were only about $1 away, so I did not focus on the midpoint. I really want to see them at least $2 apart for me to take the midpoint as an exit, give or take. We came right down here. You see that's 428.95. Okay. So if I go back into SPY, I go open up the SPY from this morning, the 1 minute, and there's the 428.95. We pushed through, we came back above, we retested, we bounced. There's the one. You have to pick a time frame. I don't care what your time frame is. You just need one time frame that you're using to make a decision on I'm entering a trade. Whatever that time frame is, I use the next or a time frame below it as a tweak. My tweak into my entry is I saw the bounce taking place on the 5, but I want to watch what the 1 is doing. We pushed up on the 1. We came back on the 1. We bounced on the 1. Once we got up a little bit, we took the entry of the trade. Boom. We're in that trade. Let me bring that back. I need the 5-minute chart. Let me close the 1, open the 5 again, or max the 5. And the exit is at resistance at 429.92. So it's about 50 cents on SPY today. I will take it all day long. No ifs, ands, or buts. And the funny thing was the Qs presented the exact same pattern. Gap down, go, 1 candle, 2 candles. We hit the line in 2 candles. Let's see. 356.51, 357.50. So once again, about $1 difference in there. About a 50-cent profit on SPY, about a 50-cent profit on QQQ potential for today. So overall setup was phenomenal, right? Monday, crazy day, especially after coming off of last week where I got very little accomplished in the office and stuff I had to get done. Between Tuesday and Friday, I got nothing done. All right. Suzanne flew in on Tuesday and we just met every day, prep for this event. So 2 good trades there, a good trade from Amelia, a lot of good trades from y'all, which is fantastic. I'm excited for that. So let me bring us back into the presentation. Where is it? Okay. Excellent. I don't want to go there just yet. Let's talk about the market first. The S&P. Yesterday morning, I did power option plays. Last one I did is that's what this orange bar is. That's always the last day that I did power option plays. So I know how many days we've done, what the patterns have been, and so forth without trying to move my mouse around every stock and see what date it was. Okay. So I get a text message from a buddy of mine that said, and he trades, that said, "You are the champion." Like, oh, okay, cool. Right. I love that. He uses my system. He uses my fibs. He uses my moving averages. Everything that I do, he does. Okay. So that candle that you're seeing, that long bearish-tailed doji candle on that last day, which was on Tuesday, I want you to look at the moving averages. The 55 moving average has this brown line has a confluence with the candle. It's a confluence, it's within 13%, confluence of the blue line. I've got the 8 and 21 right above that, confluence there within 13%. Everything about this is screaming. Everything about this is screaming, get in position 1 in the chair. okay? And the next day, we gap up ever so slightly. And you have to understand, and I went over this a little bit the other day, but in our training, you have to understand what's taking place here. When you have we went over this Saturday in our inner circle group, but when you have a stock is showing bearish connotation to it, right, which it was on Tuesday, and you get a gap up, what's happening there is professional traders, the Merrill Lynches of the world, they're taking some cash and they're throwing at it, buying the stock, buying calls, whatever it is, they're going bullish on it. And then they're sitting back and going in position one in the chair. And they want to see if they're going to turn the market at that point. And if they do, they're already in, but they're going to add to their position very quickly. If it doesn't, it starts to fail. They close that part out and they go all in on the opposite direction, right? And they're able to react that quick, milliseconds to get the trade off. Because everything they're trying to do is pre-programmed. And if you look at it, right, just to make the candle bigger, we gapped up above the fib line. We stretched up towards the 8 and the 21. We failed. We actually retested and dropped. And where did we go? Right down to the 4,400 level. Perfect, right? So now when my buddy sends me this message, I saw it over the weekend, I had no idea what he was talking about because all it was you're the champion, right? Okay, great. Next day, we gap down right near a fib line. We retest and fail. We push further down there, right? Third day, we gap down. We gap up, we run up, and we fail, end of day, and we close right at the fib line, a few dollars off it, right there as far as I'm concerned, okay? So, and then, of course, we've got today. So when I called him and said, hey, what did you mean by that? He started going into all of the fib stuff that we talk about, how we chipped through the ice on this day, right? Pushed back up, got the gap, which was a head fake with the diagonal trend line, the moving averages, the zero line, the everything just, woo, all the alignment perfect of all the stars and everything else. He said, it's like voodoo the way you talk about it. How in the world does this come so accurate with the way that from what you talk about? And in essence, he's 1,000,000% right. It almost seems like voodoo. Now, look at today, right? We are in an overall bearish market, right? We were at a rank of 2 as of yesterday's close. As of the open today, we're at a rank of 2. Right now, we're at a rank of 3. Well, what did today's candle do? It chipped away at the ice. It broke through. So it cleared the way and said, go ahead, go for it. You want to go down? We already started it. We made it easier for you. It's all yours. Take the road less traveled, right? It's there. It's already set up. That's what it is, right? The market already has done that and paved the way for, and I'm not saying it's going down. What I'm saying is traders have already set that up for later, tomorrow, whatever it is, okay? Looking at that potential downside push in the overall market. I don't think we're done. We'll talk Fed in a few minutes, but I don't think we're done to the downside. I don't believe that this is the end of the world. I don't see that happening. We've got too strong of an economy right now, but there are some. I mean, heck, I don't know if you guys know who Grant Cardone is. He's the author of a book called 10X, right? He is a sales guy, real estate guy, just has made an amazing business for himself from nothing, right? According to him, his exact words were, if you have something you could sell this month, you need to sell it and get rid of it now. If you have something that's not producing income and you could sell it now, because come next month, we're in trouble. He's not the only one that has called October as a recession, right? Good, bad, or indifferent, right? If it is a recession, you all need to be thinking about how do you take care of that? How do you cover that? Because I know, I'll give you an example. When we were in manufacturing, things got tough. The very first thing the boss would come to me and say, we need to do differently is we need to get rid of the janitorial staff because they don't make us any money. He said, you think they don't make you any money? I said, do you really want your workers going into a restroom that's dirty, right? How excited are they going to be to do work for you? How much are you going to lose just because they're mad with how you're treating them, right? And it's been proven fact that we go after the least common dollar always. Where's not making us any money? Oh, the expression is when business is good, you need to advertise. When business is bad, you need to advertise more. Most people will cut the advertising out. Great. The only thing bringing income in is what you're cutting out. All right. Logical, right? Sensibility of what it takes to get it done. Right. When you look at the overall market, I don't believe we're done to the downside. I think we still have a bunch of room yet to go down. I didn't get a chance this week to do an analysis that I wanted to. I will be shortly, but over the next couple of days. But that 4181 ain't that far away. That's that major fib line. It is a Fibonacci number series, that 4181. I saw Katie Stockton talking about fib numbers again the other day on CNBC. I think she was on again today, actually. I love seeing her talk about fibs. Oh, there's a fib on this. There's a support level on that. She's a good analyst. She really is. Very good analyst. But that 4181, it's pristine. It's ripe for the taking. We have 1, 2, 3 fib lines to get back through yet before we get to that level. Well, 2, 1, 2 to break, and then the third one to get there. Right? So I don't think we're that far off. There we go. So Trip said we are currently sitting at a 10% correction level from the all-time high of 43.3676. Cool. Thank you for that, Trip. Jennifer said, my family member is following advice that in 1 week, the whole world financial system is going to collapse. Buy silver and gold. I said, yes, but don't think we're collapsing banks and financial institutions. So same thing. Grant Cardone called for a couple more banks to be failing, and I wouldn't be surprised to see some of the little guys fail. And I think there are some that are hanging on by threads that the banking, Securities and Exchange, whoever the hell regulates them, just hasn't caught it yet because of their size. But I do believe that there are some others that are looming out there. But hey, don't worry about it. The government will make it up. If they lose money for you, they'll get it back. Don't worry. Right? That's what our government does. It just gives away money. Right? You're protected with your FTC and blah, 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 up to a certain dollar amount and all that good stuff, right? Trip said, and China is in trouble to compound the situation. Yeah, listen, it is not a U.S. economy any longer. China owns so much of the U.S. and so many other countries is bad, right? And then on top of that, we find out more and more of our politicians are corrupt, right? The Democratic senator out of New Jersey, yesterday, he and his wife are under investigation, calls from the New Jersey governor and other congressmen, women, and so forth for his resignation, right? From his home computer, he Googled the value of it wasn't a pound, kilo, value of what's worth of the value of a kilo of, not cocaine, a kilo of gold. Okay. And they found 2 gold bars in his possession, $500,000 of cash stitched inside of jacket pockets, inside of jackets, not pockets, but linings, right? He's the head of international affairs or something like that, which I heard them say that he's going to be forced to step down from that position. So when we have our own politicians that are cheating our country, it doesn't help us any. Listen, most politicians come into politics and they're worth $1 million, $500,000, whatever it is, and they get out of politics and they're worth $50 million, $100 million. How the hell does that happen on what they get paid? Right? Sorry, something's wrong here. FDIC. Thank you, Jennifer. There you go. Appreciate it. Judges too. Yeah, Brenda. I mean, it's across the board. His net worth was only listed as $600,000. Yeah, there you go, PK. P goes, don't believe it, PK says. Exactly. Don't believe it, right? So overall, we look at the position of the market, what's going to happen over the next couple of days or weeks, right? Thank God. Really. We've got a decent sized group here today. It's not our largest one, but we got a decent sized group here today. So thank God that you have the ability to do something like this to help you sustain, or make up for some of that stuff with your job, right? Because this is going to be, if they're right, this is going to be bad. He was on the Foreign Relations Board with Biden. Yeah, but they said he chairs Foreign Relations Committee or something in the Senate. So, he was senator. I think I might have said Congress. He was senator. Yeah, nobody is above the law. Yeah, exactly. Great movie too, Robert. All right. So let's go ahead and talk Fed. Is the Fed on the right track? Are they? I don't think they know. Last week we had a very low percentage. I think on Thursday, it was 98% chance of no increase, and we had no increase to the Fed. They kept it where it was at. There's talk of another increase potentially this year. I think there's 2 more meetings out of the 3 months we have available. I think it's 2 more meetings. And then the potential for a cut, 2 cuts next year in rates. I guess I just don't see the reason to hike now, knowing you're going to cut in a few months. I never quite got that concept. I plan on divorcing my wife, but I should go get us a trip around the world before I do. Why? Okay, tear the Band-Aid off, get it over with. Okay, I don't understand. No different here. If we're gonna drop rates, why are we gonna raise rates again? And almost immediately know that we're gonna drop them behind there within a few months behind that. Okay. So, and I do think some of that's politically motivated, depending on where Powell's allegiance lies, if at all. Does he lower rates to try to make it look better for Biden now because of how high they are, and people are going to be angry about it come poll times? I'm with it. I'm with you on all of that. But are they on the right track? Are they on the right path? I don't think they know. I don't think anybody knows. There has been so much. I read a statistic that said that more than 60% of the time, not decisions, but opinions of the Fed. There's a splatter chart that shows each of the Fed and what the Fed members and what they say the rate should be. And it shows you all these splatter points, right, with lines for each Fed member. And they said over 60% of the time, the opinions of the individual Fed members are wrong from what actually happens. So, and I don't remember exactly, but I remember it was higher than 60% is off. So even the Fed themselves, I don't believe is on the right track with what's being done and or should be done. I think this is a brave new world right now. Things did not work the way they have in the past, as well as they have done in the past. We should have seen some pullback so far, some of the measures in place, like the higher interest rates. But things that we are seeing happening because of what the Fed is doing is causing an increase in spending, but spending from individuals on credit instead of on, paying it cash. And a big belief of that is that people just don't have the cash. I've got to get my car fixed. I'm going to put it on a credit card because it got paid off over time. I love what the credit card companies do personally, not business, right? At least not on the business cards I have, is they tell you if you pay the minimum off, it's going to take you 17 years, 2 months to pay this down. Okay. I love that. Don't add any new debt to it. You got 17 years of debt you're paying off at the bare minimum, right? For me, we don't carry any debt. I do believe, again, I taught for many years, Dave Ramsey at our church. It was called Financial Peace University. And he talks about not using credit, right? We used to order kits for the members that were joining that program. It was $100. We had to order them and send a check because he didn't take credit cards. That's how much he was against credit cards. I don't believe in that. I think that each person needs to be responsible. We don't personally carry debt, but there were times in my life we did, where we had no choice, right? We were hard, down on our luck and had no choice, and I had to, incur debt. And I robbed from Peter to pay Paul. I robbed from Aunt Master to pay Uncle Visa, right? I did whatever I could to keep that debt afloat, right? Because I just didn't have the monies to pay it. Yes, it's called kiting. Yes, it's illegal. Yes, I know. I did it anyway. Okay, had no choice. Had no choice, right? Or else there would have been debt collectors at my door and all that wonderful stuff. Okay. Here we go. So CME site shows the prediction of 5.25 to 5.5 current rate through July of 24. Then it magically gets cut. Kevin said $1 trillion in net credit card debt. The average house payment is about to hit $3,000 a month for the first time in history. All as oil prices are up 40% in 3 months. Mortgage rates hit 7.5%. Credit card rates hit a record 25%. BMO Harris Bank is exiting auto lending. And on top of that, 2008 all over again, you have companies like Zillow, who are offering 1% down mortgages. Look at the irony here. The company that's going to foreclose on you specializes in selling properties online. Ta-da! Right? I mean, yeah, enough said. Robert K said, I charge everything, but when the bill comes, I pay it in full, so I pay no interest and debt. Exactly. And that's what I do, Robert. And I get yelled at. My accountant says, you got to carry some debt. The credit card, the credit agencies don't like to see that. They don't like to see that you can't be responsible with money. I said, really? You know, I mean, with what we pay in American Express alone every year, right? Because I've got 3 of them, 2 for different businesses and 1 personal, just that alone. You know, between myself, my family, the people in my office that have a copy, you know, one of our cards for what they do, we got what, 10 cards, 12 cards or so on our, you know, are getting charged on that every single month. We charge some serious coin on that. We pay it off at the end of the month. We don't carry debt at all. We don't carry anything. Now, don't get me wrong. I wait until the very end to pay it, or scheduled to get paid right at the very end. I'm not paying it. I know when it's due. My Amexes are due on the 23rd. I'm not paying it on the 15th. I'm paying it on the 22nd. I want it right before. I want that money in their hand right before, right? So that's just me being me, right? If you paid it early and you paid it early, who cares? You're not going to get that much interest on it. If it's a $2,000 bill you're paying off, you're not going to make that much more interest in the next 3 or 4 days, right? I just don't want them to make that much more interest on my money. They're already charging 29% on their credit cards if you carry, you know, charges on there. I don't think they have a higher FICO score than I have. Yeah, mine, I agree, Robert. Mine as well. I'm up there. I'm insanely high. There's not many points you can go above to get to the highest level on mine. And yet on paper, I'm a pauper, right? So, I mean, if anybody would tie together what we spend on credit cards alone, and then, you know, look at everything else, I mean, I could probably qualify for, you know, food stamps at this point. But that was one of the major takeaways this Saturday was business structure. You know, how do you structure yourself legally? I believe you can do everything legally within the confines of the law to get yourself in a place that you're not paying an exorbitant amount of taxes at all. All right, because it can be insane what people pay. You know, when individuals get angry that Warren Buffett paid less in taxes than his assistant did, his secretary did. I understand the thought, and it's just the way the seed is planted in your head, okay? But are we saying that Warren Buffett should not take advantage of laws that are created in this country? Because if that's what you're saying, then that's wrong. We can't say that the laws only apply to some. And you may look at it as, well, the wealthy have so much, they should give more. I'm not saying that you're wrong on that point. What I'm saying is it's the law. Fix the law, and then that will get fixed, right? But that'll never happen. Here's why. There was one point in history. Does anybody know? Let me ask you as a question. What the highest tax rate, wealth tax rate was, the highest tax rate, income tax rate was ever on our books? What percentage was it? Was it 30%? Was it 40%? What percentage was the highest rate on the books? Yeah, Trip, you got it. Yep. You guys can guess. Okay. Brenda, you might be exact. I don't remember the exact, but you and Trip are in the same ballpark. There you go, Jennifer, guess, right? So I don't remember the year, but Trip said 90%, Brenda said 92%, and it's right around there. I think it's 90, but it might have been 92. I don't remember the exact. But here's the magic to it. And I love when Congress says, oh, we had 90% wealth tax at one point. We need to go back to that again. Yeah. Go do the frickin' work and look it up, you idiots in Congress. You want to take a wild guess how many people ever paid 90% tax rate? 0. Right? Ugats. Nothing. Nada. No. Nobody ever paid it. So you could tout it. You could scream it. This idiot from New York. What the hell is her name? She's hated. She does a meeting here. Her own constituents are screaming at her and just Freaking nuts. There we go. So Tripp said he looked at it. Highest was 94% in 1944 through 1963. AOC, yeah. Yeah, I knew it was AOC. I'm just trying to think what the hell her name is. Acacia or whatever it is, okay? Oh, well, we've had it before, so we should do it again. Look into it, idiot. No one ever paid it. There are rules and things you can do to offset some of that legally. There is a New York State Supreme Court justice. His name was Leonard Hand. And I have a transcript of a speech he gave from the steps of the courthouse in Albany. And he said, and I quote or unquote, right? It's close. It is within your God-given right to take every deduction you can within the confines of the law. It's not your right. It's not just my right. It's our right. Everybody that's here is right to take every deduction that you legally can. Legally. That doesn't mean write off your 6 cats as dependents. Okay? It doesn't mean lie on the income that you receive. Legally. Lying is a whole different thing. Right? Cortez, thank you. I will push right up to the line, but I don't cross it. And when I say push up to the line, I will take every deduction I'm legally allowed to. People think I am insane. When I go into a store, my wife will say, hey, if you pass by the dollar store, in that area, stop, pick up a card for this party we've got this weekend. Sure. I drive by and pick up the card. Okay? I keep the receipt. It's 99 cents. Why would you keep a 99-cent receipt? Because that's 99 cents I won't pay taxes on. You worried about the 30 cents? No, I'm not worried about the 30% or the 30 cents of taxes that I would save by having that receipt. What I'm worried about is now do that 500, 5,000 times a year on everything that you purchase. See? Freaking huge. It's huge. Huge. Right? I save every receipt. Why? Because I legally can do so. Legally can do so. And it was a business reason that I was invited to this party, that my wife and I were invited. I was invited with a guest. They didn't know my wife's name. That's why she didn't pick the card up, or else she would have went to a really nice store. But we don't know these people. Here's a 99 cent. What's a nice card? Right? Nice bad card. It's a nice card. Right? So we went there for business. All right. So the business paid for our miles to drive there. They paid for the gift that we gave, part of the gift anyway that we gave and so forth. Right. Yeah, the mileage. Exactly, Robert. Exactly. Okay. The Fed does everything they can to feed you information and to get you to believe that this is the best thing for you. And I'm not talking about the Fed. Now we're just talking federal government, right? IRS. Does anybody in here take a mileage deduction on their vehicle where you take off? I don't even know what it is this year yet. 56 cents, 58 cents a mile. Does anybody do that? Send me 1 for yes or 2 for no. Okay, so lots of yeses and or ones, a couple of twos. Okay, here's the thing. The way they calculate that, they redo it every year, new number every year. The way they calculate that is they take the cheapest car in the cheapest state and the average driven miles, and that's what they calculate each mile is worth. Most of you don't live in the cheapest state. Most of you don't have the cheapest car. And many people don't drive that minimum mile. I mean, I have friends of mine that have to stop driving their leases, 3, 4, 5 months in advance because their mileage is up. And they don't want to pay 25, 50 cents a dollar a mile over for that lease. Sorry. Yes, it is a fleece. You are being fleeced. So they stop driving, right? Here's the thing. That is not the best choice of what to do. The best choice of the way to do it is, especially if you have a loan on the car, is you measure for a certain period of time, check with your accountants as to how long. You don't have to do everything. You measure a certain period of time of what's business and what's pleasure on your vehicle, and you track it. You document it. So you do it 3 months, 2 months. You could extrapolate that out. Again, check with your accountants. You could extrapolate that out to the year. And, the accountant will then say, okay, you used your car. I'm going to make up a number. 25% of the time was business. Okay. So 25% of your car payment, 25% of your car insurance, 25% of your gasoline, 25% of everything that you spent. Oh, but I get 56 cents a mile. Which doesn't even cover the wear and tear on your tires. Not to mention the cost of gas and everything else. It doesn't. It just doesn't. Think about, a gallon of gas, the average car is getting 15 miles to a gallon. What are you talking about? At $4 a gallon, you got, 8 miles in there just to cover the gallon of gas. Okay. It's not good. The better way to do it is that. The problem is once you, on a vehicle, once you make an election, you did per mile, 56 cents a mile, whatever it is that year, you can't switch to the other method. You have to wait until you have a new vehicle. All right. Last year was 2 different rates for mileage. Yeah. And it just depends on how high it got and where and when, because normally they do a full year, but because things have gotten so expensive again now, they're kind of dealing with the dredge of how do we handle that? How do we get it where the average person doesn't get ripped off, right? Does it make that much of a difference? Listen, if they raise it a penny or two, okay. Is it that much of a difference? Well, a penny a mile, if you drove 1,000 miles, would be 1,000 pennies. It's $100, right? Okay, listen, I'll take the $100, but it ain't making me rich. The difference there, or $200 or whatever it is. It's good. It's better on my side, but it could be the opposite way then. If they paid a lot in the beginning and then gas went down in price, they're going to lower it. You were getting 56, now you're getting 53, right? They can do it the exact same way. So is the Fed on the right track? Is the federal government on the right track? Is the office of the presidency, Congress, the Senate on the right track? I don't think they know what the track is. I think the track has changed so often that it's all over the place. Right. The Fed, I think, is shooting from the hip because we've never had this scenario here where things have moved the way they are, where the population, the individuals, people have been what's pushing up or pumping up the economy. But when you look at the debt that we're talking about and what we're dealing with, contending with right now there, it ain't good. It's just not, it is not a good scenario, a good place to be. All right. So we've got to be very cautious coming up over the next couple of days, weeks, months on how you're focused on the market. The strategies that we taught this week in the live in the live training that I did in New York at Trader Super Summit, it was a power option plays training was Friday. It was all on power option plays. There are new things added in there. Those of you that are in POP, we're going to start introducing these very soon. You're going to be excited to see some of the stuff that's in there, the templates that I've made, or tables rather, that I've put together, which make things a lot easier to figure out is what we should and should not be doing than the way I've done it before with some of the text rules that we've got set up there. Well, we've got all the rules in there. We're working on a new spreadsheet right now to start tracking everything. We're going to set something up. That'll be the next calculator that I build. Will be that on the website. It will be a calculator for POP. So if you're taking a trade and you're doing multiple exits, how do you do it? Darlo said, for every person like you and I, there are a lot more that let those deductibles go. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I am with you 1,000,000%. I look at everything in life is that a legitimate business deduction? So if I choose here, I'll give you a great example. If you choose to go on vacation and you literally go away and just have fun the entire time, you can't write that off. But if you go away and you spend X hours a day on average on business, the entire trip is a write-off legally. So the question you have to ask yourself is, are you willing to do a little bit of work while you're there? Right? And what's work? It could be something as simple as I'm looking for a new office location or a second office location or an eighth or whatever, right? Spend some time with some realtors looking at properties, right? Documented, trackable, business card, everything done right, right? Don't skirt the issues, folks. This is not, you don't want to be on that side of the fight if you get caught, right? Let's see. Yeah, Charles said, I disagree with you. They know exactly what they're doing. They're getting theirs and leaving breadcrumbs to us. Yes, Charles, I agree with you. You're right. Okay, they call it socialism. That's what it is. We're happy to get the little bit that we get our hands on. Right? I agree with you. I mean, it is a messed up scenario of what we are contending with right now. Right? Here, let me do this. I don't have a lot of time to poll candidates, guys. Let me jump over here real quick, though. Let me see here. Let me pull this up. Give me a second. I don't have it open here. Pop, 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 pop. Where are we? Where are we? Where are we? Do. You know what? Let's use this right here. Okay. So one of the big changes we made to Pop was we started doing one contract trades only to give an idea and understanding of what that would represent instead of trying to trade 10 contracts and 4 contracts. We also made it where we have now 20 contracts, we have 8, we have 4. So we have multiple levels that we are looking at, okay? This is the sheet for the one contract trade. You can see one contract up on this top line here, row 1, okay? And the ones that are highlighted are the ones from last week, right? These were Wednesday, Thursday, Friday trades that we took. One contract trade, one. Imagine what the 10 contract or the 4 contract trades were. Like Chipotle was a 4 contract trade. That's about $10,000 on 4 contracts, right? $2,500 here, all right? And these are all ones. You know, when you look at the ones that were from the regular Pop list, see if I can open that up. All right, so I already moved. All right, so let me just show you this. So I already moved 2 of them over, or most of them over. These are the 2 that are still open. We've got an AMD trade open where we have 10 contracts that we did. We sold out of 4. So we've got 6 left. We have 10 contracts of Square. We sold out of 9 of them. We have 1 contract left. That's $5 grand right there, 51.67. If we go and look at the closed orders from 20, 21, and 22, that's here. Chipotle, $10,000. Goldman Sachs, $2,000. MasterCard, $2,000. Netflix, $5 grand. Nvidia, $7 grand. Then $6 grand the next day on Nvidia. Roku, $2 grand. SPY, 4,600. Then 4,100. United Healthcare, 2,000. W-Day, minus 195. There's only one that went against us, and it was a $200 hit. Right? This was all within the last couple of days. Right? Great bolster for our trading account there for that week, our practice account for that week, because of that week, because of the numbers we've had there. But a lot of our stocks right now, are in bearish territory. Bear. Of our 20, the only ones that are not, and I don't want to, I can't really show this page, but we have 2 stocks that are in bullish territory right now. That was United Healthcare and Costco. Costco is bullish neutral, right? We had 4 companies that were neutral: Booking, MasterCard, Meta, and Google. Everybody else was either bear or bear neutral after Friday's close, right? What a massive shift. So 2 for bullish, 4 for neutral, and 15 for bearish, right? Wow. Okay, I just guessed. Here, this was a couple of weeks ago. I just went back in history and I grabbed September 7th. I said it was 2-4-15. This is 15-2-4. Okay, we had 15 bullish on September 7th. Here we are, the 25th, 18 days ahead, and we have completely flip-flopped into the bearish connotation on the market. So overall, not fun. Not fun. Yeah, listen, Diane, if the mileage, I just saw that on Q&A because I don't normally check that. If the mileage works for you that way, then by all means. Once again, if someone doesn't have a loan on the vehicle, it may be better off to just take that, right, as direct miles, without a doubt. Yeah, PK said last week was awesome for one contract trades. It was. Yeah, go, Robert. I couldn't agree with you more. Robert said stripes don't look good on my shirts. Yep, you are right. No doubt about it. Okay. So I am coming in. Lee, you got to make a note. We're going to have to send an email out to everybody that wants to meet up for dinner in the Chicago area on the 17th of October, which is a Tuesday night. I land at 6, so we're going to plan on 7. I will get it all coordinated. We will get it all coordinated for everybody. If you're interested in coming, we're just gonna get together over there. Robert, is that date that's still good for you on the 17th? Like I said, reach out to some of the old crew there, get Scalper Ed and so forth, and see who's around. Scalper Ed, Milwaukee Gym. Another whistle stop in Chicago. It's not, yeah, maybe, but not right now. I'm coming in for a mastermind. So while I'm there, if we got a chance to meet and get together, by all means, I would love to do it. Okay. And then Robert, if you're able to make it, if that works for you, still checking. I don't know, Robert, you tell me what we're thinking for dinner over there. I don't know what's near that. I mean, I'm right in the area. I am on Manhattan Road. So I'm not sure what's in the area, Robert. Listen, I don't care what it is as long as it's Italian, right? And if it's deep dish, it's even better, right? Yeah. Yes, Robert, exactly. Manhattan Road. Yep. So I can get you all the details to the hotel and everything, Robert, but it's right by O'Hare. It's a few minutes from O'Hare. They got a shuttle that picks you up, so it's just a few minutes away. So, like I said, we've got a big contingent of students in Chicago area. So if you're interested, that's great. Robert, I'm gonna have to send you that. I just want to, you know what? Let me do this. Can I do this? All right. Yeah, Robert, I do. All right, you should have saw that, Robert, right? And actually, that's wrong. All right, there you go. Ever down in the Charleston, South Carolina way? I'm not, Thomas. We're not. Good, Robert. Good. We don't do much down there. Chicago is just where the mastermind is. And I travel with purpose. Right now, my wife's back at school at work, so she's done for the rest of the year. This school year now, we don't get a whole lot of time to do much. For me, it's all business. So, all right, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, I kept you a little bit late. Sorry about that, but hey, have a great rest of your day. God bless. Two things. One, go ahead and get registered for Trading You Live 2.0. Do not miss out on 2.0. And number two, look out for the emails coming out for Chicago to see if it's something that you have an interest in. All right, everybody, have a great night. God bless. Great day. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye.